There we are. We're live. Hey guys.
Hey, how are y'all? So happy to be here.
We are live on my page, Southern Adornments Decor, and on Heidi's page, Texas Art and Soul. So if you're not following one of us, go and hit that follow button on the page real quick because I teach door hanger painting, which this is smaller than a door hanger, but I wanted to do a smaller piece. This is actually going to go in my kitchen today. And Heidi teaches how to do paint parties. So
Yes, what does your say? What does your say, Tamara?
as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord.
Oh my gosh, we both picked Christian paintings today. We didn't even coordinate.
We didn't plan that, but that's how it turned out. Isn't that funny?
That's awesome. Yeah, so excited to be here. I actually teach people how to make money teaching paint parties. And this is a very easy painting that I'm going to do today. You'll see as we're painting and chatting. I'm just going to be squirting paint and using a chip brush mostly, but it's a lot of fun. So I'm excited. Thanks for being here. All of y'all that are joining us, please say hi. We're so happy you're here.
Yeah, if you have paint party questions, we thought this is just an open chat. We didn't really have like a clear plan. We just thought we would come on, answer questions, talk about paint parties and painting door hangers and canvas, and just kind of see where the conversation takes us. Hey, Ashton. Hi, Carrie and Sherry.
Oh, and really, me and Tamara are talking about we just miss each other so much. So we're like, why not just get on the live, start painting, and talk to each other, and then we can also, answer your questions as we're doing this. So I'm excited, and I think Tamara, are you doing wholesale finally? I have been asking for over 2 years now. I've been asking you about wholesale. I'm like,
so thank you, Heidi, for pushing me because yes, we are finally selling our door hanger blanks in wholesale, which is something we've never offered before. So just a quick.
I think it was Nashville over 2 years ago when I was like, when are you going to get wholesale? I'll be your first customer.
First of all, we had to get our building built with our big machines so that we could handle wholesale orders. And we finally have everything in place. We got it added to the website. So now all of our designs, we have over 1,200 to choose from. Yeah, that's a lot, right? In 4 different sizes. You can get them in quantities of the lowest quantity is 5, which saves you just 10%, but it goes up to 10. And then if you buy 20, you're saving like 30%. If you buy 50 or more, you're saving 50%. So if you're doing a paint party, that's a huge savings.
That's awesome. I like how you're doing almost the tiered. So for those of us that do giant parties, we can save
the
more.
The party, the bigger the savings.
Yeah, be like, everybody's minimum now is 50 people or more. I'm not taking any paint parties unless it's 50 people. That's awesome. Well, congratulations. I know that has been, I know I've been bothering you for a long time, and I apologize about that. But I really oh my gosh, I've been asking her for years now. Just, when is it going to happen? I remember being at this Mexican restaurant in Nashville going, Tamara, are you gonna have any kind of wholesale thing going on? And so, we got feedback, people.
Why am I? Okay. Apparently I wasn't hitting the mute button when I thought I was hitting the mute button. I'm trying to come in on my computer because I can't see the comments. I'm getting old, and even with my glasses, and I can't reach the phone to be able to scroll to the older comments. So I saw a couple questions pop in, and I was like, I got to get another way to look at those. So I've got my laptop over here now, and I'll scroll back up and see. Courtney says, we're excited to be painting the Gnome Latte door hanger as a paint party for Valentine's. That's awesome.
Oh, fun, Courtney. Very cool.
And then Sherry wants to know, where do you guys get your paints and your canvases?
And so I get my paints. I love Deco Art Americana. They have some new colors right now. These two right now, honestly, are some of my favorite. It's strawberry. Have you used the strawberry or the fuchsia or the paradise green yet?
Oh, yes, I have both of those. I love them.
Yeah, we used these when we were at Christy's event, actually. That's when we got introduced to him. And I love them so much.
I'm still using my little ice cube tray from Christy's event.
I don't even know where mine went. I'm so bad about that stuff.
I love it.
Yeah, so we had so that's my favorite kind of paint, deco art, and then I love a lot of metallics. And then as far as canvas for me, I actually love just going to Michael's and getting them at their bulk discount. I use the artist loft, and then I just wait for them to go on sale, which they go on sale all the time. So that's where I buy mine. Like I have canvases stacked over in that other room behind me, and then canvases in my attic space stacked. So whenever I do a party, what's funny is I just booked a couple of new parties, and I was like, well, I had some 12 by 12s left over from another event. And I was like, well, I could do a 12 by 12 for $30 or a 16 by 20 for 35. And they were like, let's do the 12 by 12. I'm like, yes, so save me some money. Plus I'm getting rid of some of my overstock.
That's a good idea. Have you noticed too that you can get those bulk packages of canvas on the Michaels website? And if you buy a certain amount, you get free shipping. So if you guys don't have a Michaels nearby, just buy online. That's what I do.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. If I can, I used to always go and like get them all in person. Now, almost all the time, I get them online. And if you have black background paintings, which we do a lot of, you can buy the black canvases. So that saves a whole step of people painting them black first and then tracing on top of them. So that's a really good thing.
I had no idea that they sold them already pre-painted with black. That's great. Great time
saver.
Oh,
let me show you. It's like an easy. It's just a black canvas, and then we just trace on top of them with white graphite. So it's simple, easy. Well, Bobby does the trace. Bobby and Pixie do the tracing now, so maybe it's not as simple for them, but it's simpler for me. I'm so
Aren't you glad you outsourced that?
I'm so glad.
Well, I almost never paint on canvas. I do if I'm following along with somebody else's tutorial, or if I'm teaching something at a live event, sometimes I will. But for the most part, I paint on wood, and we laser cut our own wood. This is a 12-inch piece that I cut out this morning. And if you're wondering about the letters that I'm painting over, if you look closely, when the paint dries, you can still, it's hard to see in the video, but you can still see the letters through the paint. So don't worry about that. You can paint right over these laser etched lines. So if you're teaching at a paint party, you're not going to have to sit and wait for everybody to paint around each little letter or whatever it is they're doing. You can just say, okay, paint the entire background this color, and you can teach them to paint it in layers instead of having to take all that time to try to be super careful.
Yeah, I love that. Whenever I tell people that, they're like, but wait, and I'm like, look, and I just go straight over it, and they're always surprised, like, oh my gosh, it happens. So we have Ginger on here. Good morning to you too. And Sheila says she's in a winter storm. Oh my gosh. And let's see, we have Sue Ann on here. She buys her canvases already. Yeah, the black ones from the 16 by 20s from Michael's. And then Raimi also buys the bulk as well. So that's really cool. Hey, y'all. Thank y'all for saying hi as you come on. We're happy to hang out with you and talk all things wood and paint parties. And so ask questions and feel free to let us know how it's going in your part of the world.
I see Damon's on here. He said 2 of his favorite blondes.
Oh, hi, Damon. And you're looking good, by the way.
Yeah, I need to know what the secret is. He's lost some weight and looks so healthy.
I know. That's awesome. Yeah, I had lost some weight, but it was because I was sick. I was like, way to lose weight. It's always when you're sick, it's like, it's one of the only silver linings.
I've had that happen before, but once I start feeling better, I start eating again, and it all comes back. I love to eat. That's my problem.
Oh my gosh, me too. It's so good. So on this painting, y'all, I'm just having fun with it. One of the things when you're doing a canvas paint party and you're kind of letting them have a little bit more freedom with it, you want it to, especially if you don't have a tracer. So this one that we're doing has no tracer at all. So I just have them pick whatever colors they want and kind of dab it. And then another one of my little fun tricks is to take a paper towel. And again, this is budget friendly. You don't have to worry about stencils or anything like that. And then I just like to roll it up into, I actually made a mistake one time and needed to wipe it off. And then the texture looks so cool that I decided to keep it. So I just dab it, and then you can dab into the black and it starts to bring that purple into the black as well. So it just kind of gives it some variation. So that's the trick of the day. Use a paper towel.
I'm always learning something new from you. I never would have guessed that that was the technique you used on that painting behind you.
Oh, really?
I never would have guessed it was a paper towel. That's brilliant.
Yeah, just use paper towels, and then you can get different colors too. I recently just did these yesterday, and I did both of them at once, and it was just using paper towels from the pinks and the purples at the same time, and then you just grab the blacks. So it's so easy and so simple. And it looks like more work than you've done.
Deanna says this is the best of both worlds. She must follow both of us. Thank you, Deanna.
Aw, thank y'all for being here. I know me and Tamara were missing each other, and we were like, well, why don't we just paint together and hang out? And I know we're all so busy and have busy lives, and it's fun just to take a minute to just paint. And for those of y'all that are watching on Texas Art and Soul, if you don't follow my friend Tamara, you should. She is amazing. And you're so good at TikTok. Like, I wish I was as good at TikTok as she's like the young whippersnapper of our online friends.
Though.
I don't know. You have are you about a decade younger than me, or you're almost a decade, aren't you?
I'm 39 in March. I'm not that much younger.
You're not.
Why do you feel that? I must have like been right on that curve of like where we started learning technology at different times. Like maybe you were already in college and I was in high school when I was learning some of the techie stuff. Or maybe they started adding in tech classes to school. I don't know.
Yeah. I know. I think that's what it is. Because, yeah, anytime I'm around Tamara, I learn something new. I just recently released the CapCut inside of Paint Party headquarters. And it's cool because you were the first one that taught me that whenever we were together last. You were showing me some CapCut stuff. And now I use it all the time. I love it.
I'm even better at it now. I've gotten to where now I've figured out, and I can teach you this when we get together in February, but I've figured out how to take a live like this where you've got a split screen and turn and like crop it down to where you're only using one side and like speed it up. And I figured out how to take like a live that's like 40 minutes long and crop it down to like 40 seconds long. And I've gotten so much faster at it that I like within probably 15 minutes, I edited 2 videos before we came on here. And it just makes it to where you can repurpose your content. You know, if you've taught a live, you can turn it into something else. And
can you make a horizontal video look vertical without it being blurry?
So let me think. You would have to be able to zoom in on some of it, and it all depends on the beginning quality of the video. So if the quality of the video was high resolution at the beginning, then the quality at the end ought to be better than, you know.
Because that's one of my biggest things is when we do a horizontal video for YouTube and things like this, it's like, okay, now I want it to be a vertical video for TikTok, for Reels. And that's been kind of the frustration. So that's why I got a phone over there, a phone over here. Like, but that would be cool to be able to just do it on one.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't set up a separate camera for a time lapse anymore. I just take my video that I did in StreamYard, and I take the live recording of it, and I edit it all in that CapCut app.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you're gonna have to show me that. I need to know that ASAP.
I saw a question. April said, "What do you have your paint in, Tamara?" So this is a silicone ice cube tray. The cool thing about these is when your paint dries up, you can literally push on the silicone bottom because it's flexible and peel the old paint out and throw it away. So you don't really have to wash this. You can just, and it's kind of satisfying peeling out that dried up paint.
Some ASMR.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just satisfying. It's like playing with slime or something. I don't know.
Oh, did you see the Kardashians? They're bringing slime parties back. Very excited about that.
I've never heard of this slime party.
Oh my gosh, I've made so much money doing slime parties. It's literally the same thing as a paint party setting, but you do slime. And so I have an entire trunk full of all the plastic bowls, the spoons, the measuring. And what's so funny is I remember walking into an art studio, and this lady I talked about doing a slime party, and she kind of like made fun of me. Like, I guess she didn't realize that I do a lot of paint parties. And so she kind of made fun of me, and I was like, okay, I'm going to let it go. But the woman doesn't know, like, I literally made $500 in an hour from a slime party. And here is the thing that's so interesting is that the kids that come to a slime party, they all already know how to make slime. So Pixie would just teach the party, and I would just be there for support. And they're just making slime, and we're doing bubble contests and having fun. And I was just like, oh, like it just made me sad. It's like, why knock another artist? I'm like, it's a way to make money and, help your family out. Who cares,
Well, and from a mom perspective, I would totally pay for Charlie to go to a party like that, because that means she's not making it at home and not making a mess in my kitchen.
That's what they all said. Every one of those parents would drop them off and be like, have fun. I don't want her to do it at my house. Like, that was the go-to. I see Brandy. She says, I've owned a ceramic art studio for 20 years in Las Vegas. Very cool. But she had to close during COVID. We had just added canvas to our studio, but have zero experience with canvas. I'm reopening in a mall next month and want to know how to join or subscribe to anything and everything you guys do. I'm starting from scratch with Canvas. Oh, Brandy. Well, first off, I'm so sorry about your studio closing. I know how hard that is with, having to pivot and having to change and change directions. But I do want you to know that there is lots of hope, and that there are lots of people out there still not only doing studios, but doing mobile parties all the time. So I definitely recommend following my friend Tamara at Southern Adornments and Decor. Make sure you follow her. And then if you want to follow me at Texas Art and Soul, I have tons of trainings as well that'll help you get started.
I see Sarah Williams is in the comments. She said, what are you girls up to? We need to send Sarah an invite and get her on here too. We miss her.
I know, Sarah, we've been missing each other. We were like, we got to just paint and talk. We've been missing. Yeah, we need to definitely do our Zoom we're talking about for sure. Let's see. Sheila says, I want to thank you, Heidi. Since the snowman painting, I've wanted to pick up my paintbrush again. I've kind of lost my touch, but at least I'm back doing it along with my other crafts I do. Oh, Sheila, so happy to hear that. Tamara, what would be your advice for people who, I know I have an answer to this, but I want to hear your answer too. Like, people who are wanting to get back into this, but they're nervous about getting started, like just painting, not even doing a paint party, but just painting.
I think sometimes we get in our head and we overthink everything. We overthink how hard it's going to be to get it set up, or whether we have the right supplies, or we're too afraid of messing up before we've even gotten started. So if it's being afraid to get back to painting, you're just going to have to sit down and play with the paint, enjoy the process. Don't worry so much about making it perfect and coming out with the perfect end result. Start with a project that's like super simple, where all you got to do is put a few colors on there, make it something fun and abstract, kind of like what Heidi's doing, where you can play with the paper towels and the blending of the paint. And if it doesn't turn out the way you expect, it's just paint. You can paint over it and start again. And you don't have to, you don't have to throw it in the garbage. Just like if it's a door hanger like this, a lot of times what people will do is, after you've painted lots of layers on here, sometimes it will have a texture. So they just give it a light sanding with a sanding block or something to take that texture away, and then start over. And in the case of a door hanger like this that has the laser etching on it, you could sand it down until you can see those laser etched lines again and just start over. And if it's a canvas, just paint it white again, or whatever color it started out as, and start over. And keep a baby wipe handy too. That's always a good tip.
Yes, I love all of that. Baby wipes for sure. And I think a lot of times when we're trying to get through a creative block, or, in Sheila's case, like she wants to get started again, I highly recommend doing something so easy that's a quick win. Because sometimes, we sit down and we want to do this whole masterpiece, and it feels so overwhelming and daunting. So somebody actually, I went and saw that violinist, Lindsay Sterling, and we had kind of a Q&A time with her. And I asked her, I said, what do you do when you feel like you're just blocked creatively? And she said, I just think the best thing to do is a quick win, something so simple that will get you a quick win in like 10 or 20 minutes. And just that quick win is going to help boost your confidence. And so recently I was on a cruise boat and I was like, okay, I'm going to bring a whole luggage full of paints and canvases and I'm just going to paint and have a blast. And there's this lady that I've been watching online and her name's Timry. And I was like, I'm going to watch one of her videos and I'm going to paint with her. I'm going to pick something super simple. You know, it's out of my style. So I'm going to paint something new. Oh my gosh, y'all. So I painted the painting that she taught me and it looked like a 5-year-old had painted it. It was so bad. I mean, I looked at Pixie and I was like, look what I did. And she was like, what did you do? And I'm like, I have no idea. Like it was awful. And so I ended up just leaving it in the hotel room. But here's what came out of it. After I had painted with her, let me show you the ones that it inspired me. Oh, so my confidence was like, okay, I was like, okay, I painted her style and it's not, you know, my style, but it gave me the confidence. And then I ended up busting these out in just a few seconds because I know I can paint a palm tree. And so just by doing that, I painted these in just a few minutes and I was like, okay, like it boosted my confidence. It gave me what I needed. And now I have these cool paintings that I can do all summer long for paint parties. So I think sometimes you just got to rip the Band-Aid and do something easy that'll give you confidence.
Jeanette says, what state do you live in? I'm in Kentucky. Heidi's in Texas. Where are you at?
Yeah, y'all let us know where you're at in the comments for sure.
And then Sherry is asking, what's the best way to advertise and attract people to the art parties? I'm trying to start a DIY paint party business.
Oh, fun. So my best advice is to, we have a magic script. And basically what it is we have a full training on it. You can check it out at Texas Art and Soul. But the best, and I'll walk you through exactly how to do it, but it is the best, fastest way to book a paint party because I want you to have a profit from the very first paint party. And basically all you're doing is you're sending 5 messages a day. And you want to go to Facebook and use Facebook like a search engine. So you're going to Google, like, for example, your town and then put in country clubs or put in restaurants. But I find like if you're brand new to this, I find that country clubs and places like that is best because they have their own emails. They have like their whole community already. And then all you do is send this very short, simple message. Hi, my name is Heidi. I teach paint parties. I would love to come teach at your event or your country club. Do you have time to talk this week? And by saying that question, do you have time to talk this week? It's something psychology-wise that turns on the brain that says, oh, I need to answer this question. And you send 5 of those a day to your local area, no more than 5, or you'll get put in Facebook jail. and then you just wait and see if somebody replies back. And always attach 2 on-trend paintings for the upcoming season. That works so well. And we've had so many people do that are like, I booked a paint party, you know, and it's crazy how awesome it works. But then you just start building up. And also a quick tip, make sure your Facebook, even your personal profile, does not look like you've only forwarded cat videos and crock pot recipes because people are going to go check you out and make sure you have something to do with painting. So that's another little tip.
Those are great tips. I know that, yeah, when I first got started doing paint parties years ago, the only way that I knew was to just post on a Facebook page and share it with my friends and stuff like that. And I started out really small with just a group of friends in my home. And it was kind of just by word of mouth and of course, posting Facebook photos and all of that it grew because once people came to one party, they were like, oh, I would love to do this with my church friends, you know, or I would love this to do this with my sisters. And so I would book parties off of parties off of parties. And so every time somebody at a party would say, I would love to do this again with so-and-so. I'm like, well, let's go ahead and put it on the calendar. If you can get them to book the next date at the current party, you're never going to be, out of work.
Yeah, and that's such a good idea too, Tamara, because I mean, they're already excited, they're ready to go, they want to have the party. So booking it right there is awesome.
I'm finally adding a little bit more color to mine. So this
How's
design,
yours looking, by the way?
it's mostly neutral, and it says, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And then Lord is in big colorful letters down here. So each letter will be a different color. And this color right here is teal mint. And so I've done all the lettering up here with just a medium tip paint pen. And then this part down here, I'm choosing to do with a brush, but you could totally do it with a paint pen also.
Would you add like a big bow to that, or would you leave it simple?
So this one, I just did a 12-inch size because I'm planning on just setting this on a shelf in my kitchen. But if you were going to hang this on like your front door, I would maybe, because you don't want to distract from the shape of the house, I would maybe put a wire or a string and attach your bow above it, kind of like attached to the part it's hanging on.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah, I was just talking about you earlier in my paint party headquarters group. I was like, yeah, Tamara taught me how to do a bow years ago. I don't even think you taught me. So I was watching one of your videos, and I was like, I'm so bad at doing bows. And so I do the Tamara method of the X and the X and then squish together. I was like, I always just do that. It's so much simpler than trying to get real fancy with bows.
Well, and when it comes to like a door hanger or something, the art should be the focus. To me, the bow shouldn't be the focus of the project. Now, if you're doing a wreath or something like that, of course it should have big, grand, fancy bows. But for something with a lot of time and effort into the artwork part of it, you don't want the bow to be the main showstopper.
Well, and when you're doing a profit every party, I mean, I've had times where I've brought the ribbon, and then you get one person at that paint party who's a fancy bow maker, and they've used all your ribbon, and you're like, I don't have any more ribbon for the rest of the people.
That totally happened to me one time. Before I started coming up with the little method I taught you, just using just a little bit of burlap, because burlap was cheap, and then using like the decorative ribbon in just 6-inch strips, or maybe 7-inch. But anyway, that was a cheaper, more affordable method because I could get multiple, like probably 30 bows out of one roll of ribbon instead of at this one party I went to where I was teaching some teachers after school, and I didn't know what I was doing as far as making bows. This was in the early days. I just brought a bunch of ribbon, and one lady was like, oh, I know how to make a bow. Here, do you mind if I go ahead and make my bow for my door hanger? And I'm like, no, go right ahead. And so she made hers, and it was gorgeous. Of course, it was the one with all the loops using like 30 ribbon. And she got done with it, and the other 9 or 10 teachers in there were like, oh, that is beautiful. Can you make me one too? And there went all the money that I had spent on. I probably spent $150 on ribbon before this party, and every bit of that was gone by the end of that party. So I learned a quick lesson that day.
Yes, I have learned that exact lesson as well. And it's always the teachers, and we can say that because me and Tamara are both teachers.
They are easy to me. They're easy to teach because they're kind of go-getters, and they're not afraid to just jump in and do it. But yeah, there's definitely other challenges that come along with that.
Yes, for sure. There's always a really great bow maker. Lori wants to know, what is Tamara's site? So Tamara, if you want to tell her how to find you, and then she also wants to know how to get the words on the wood board. Great questions.
Okay, so there's a couple of different ways you can do door hangers. If you're wanting to use one of these designs that we have in our shop, I did put the link in there at shopdoorhangers.com. If you're watching from Heidi's page, I think she has an affiliate link she may want to drop in later. She probably didn't have it on hand right now. But anyway,
yeah, I can add it later.
There's a couple different ways. So one is a template, and I've got a template over here I can kind of show you so you can get a visual. And so if you're the kind of person who paints like on canvas and you prefer to, continue painting on canvas, you could use a template like this. These are ones we have in our shop. You print them out yourself, tape them together, and trace them on wood, canvas, whatever you want to do. And so this is like a 12-inch size, but there's different sizes inside the files that you get for our templates. So you could do a 20-inch size and trace it on wood and cut it out using like a jigsaw or a scroll saw. If you're not comfortable doing that and you want to just purchase the blanks from us, we do finally have wholesale set up. and it comes
Woo!
with the lines for the wording and everything lasered on it. If you look closely, you can still see the O-R-D in Lord underneath my paint. So that's the great thing about these laser etched wood blanks, is at your paint parties, you can just tell everybody, start by painting the entire thing tan, and they'll follow that instruction. And they might panic at first because they're covering up the words, but as the paint dries, they'll realize, oh, I can still see the words. It's fine. And then you're just doing the rest of this with polka dots and a paint pen and stuff like that. And this could be a quick project.
Yeah, it's so cute. Yeah, make sure you grab that. And then another question, let me see. Oh, Lynn, yes. So if any of y'all are in Paint Party headquarters, she asked, Heidi, are you going to make tracers for those palm trees? They came out so good. Love them and love the colors. Yes, Lynn. Actually, for Paint Party headquarters, I'm going to be filming a whole video on it because I kind of was just in the zone creating. I was listening to some great music and just creating. So yeah, definitely we'll have that for y'all. Awesome. Yeah, very cool. Okay, so any other questions? How are you doing on yours, Tamara? I'm close to the end. I can keep adding forever, but I'm getting there.
I'm really close to the end too. I've just got 2 more letters to paint. I just keep getting distracted. I don't even...
I know, it's so fun too. And I want to show y'all real quick just the differences of like when you're teaching a paint party. And I know everybody has a different way, but I really encourage like using different colors. So I want to show you, I have painted the purple one now 3 times and they all look a little different. So here's one, and then here's the one I'm working on now, a little bit more textured. And then here's one right here. And then I also did it in pink with just little stripes on the side. So when I do a paint party like this, I actually will bring all of these and put them up around the room. I know, for time reasons, sometimes we're like, oh, I'm just trying to get the one example painted. That's fine. If you have the one example, then just print pictures of that one example. And you could do that with the wood products too, print pictures and then have them up around the room so that people aren't trying to, oh, I need to see your painting. I need to see your painting. Like that has saved me so many steps, so many steps of walking around. I call it my paint party workout, but it will save you some steps. But showing them that they can have some freedom by doing different stuff is really, really powerful.
I think that pink one's my favorite.
The pink one?
Yes, I love it.
Oh, thank you. I love the pink one. I love the pink one because it has that light purple in it. I think that's why I like it the most. Okay, yes, Linda, this will be on replay. And then Deshanka, I hope I'm saying that right, says, what is the best to do when starting an art business, LLC, etc.? Tamara, do you want to take this and then I'll answer after you?
I'm definitely not the good person to ask when it comes to doing stuff the legal way and making sure with taxes and all that, because I know every state kind of has their own rules about certain things and whatnot. But I would just say that you probably need to just find a local CPA. And
that's what I say.
And talk to them, because an LLC may not be where you need to start. It may need to be like a sole proprietorship with, I don't know. There's just different. And if you have a business partner, that's completely different also. And I don't even know all the different things to tell you, but I just know talking to a CPA and just having that initial meeting, a lot of times those are completely free. You can sit there and they'll tell you, okay, this is your first step, your second step, and whatnot. And I pretty much just walked into one and was like, okay, where do I begin? And they sent me to the local courthouse where I had to get my DBA, doing business as, to get my business name secured. And then I had to go to the bank, set up that business account. And they're like, well, we need this first. So then I had to trek across town to the city hall. So those people will all tell you what you need to have in place. But start with your CPA. Or I've also heard, I don't know if they have this in Kentucky. They probably do. But I've heard Sarah talk about in Texas what's it called? A small business association. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they help you.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with Tamara. Go to your local CPA. I can teach you everything about paint parties, but when it comes to tax stuff, I don't want to get you thrown in jail. So I definitely want you to check with your local CPA. For me personally, I had a DBA at first, and then I went into an LLC. But at the very beginning of my business, I didn't need the full LLC type stuff for Texas anyway. But I know it's different across all states, all countries, and I know this is all over the place. So check with a local trusted CPA and not just a random person. And then also in Texas anyway, there are small business. I think it's everywhere in the United States, but SBAs, you can go there and then they'll actually walk you through the process. But me and Tamara both kind of have the same feeling of, if you're going to have a paint party with 10 people, like just do it. Like just start the process. All of that stuff is going to come into play. But if you go through 50 steps of trying to get a DBA just to have like a guinea pig party of 5 people, you're never going to get anywhere. So just have your first party, get excited, then start doing the talks about what you need to do.
Yeah, don't worry about even coming up with a business name first. Just start doing parties. And once it starts to pick up steam, that's when you can be like, all right, I got to make this legit, because it really is more than a hobby now. It's a business.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, I love how it turned out with the different colors. Good job.
I feel like the green probably needs another coat, but I just wanted everybody to see kind of like what it looks like.
That's beautiful. Oh, thank you. Well, I am so glad you started wholesale. It's about time. No, I'm just kidding.
I know. It's totally time. Yeah. So if
I'm
you wanted
so
to
glad
get
you
one,
did.
you can get it in 4 different sizes. And the more you buy, the more you save. We were talking earlier, like if you're doing a 50-person paint party, you can get 50 of these and get them at 50% off. Or you can do 2 parties of 25 people each. You know, you don't have to start with huge parties. Maybe you just pick a design that's going to be the design that you're going to teach in the month of March in all your parties. And you could buy, you know, a large bulk amount of them and save more money. So
very cool. Yeah. So check it out now that she has wholesale, especially for a lot of my customers. If you want to check her out, and make sure you follow her for all things door hangers. And then if you need to know the magic script or you have any questions with that, feel free to check out Texas Art and Soul. We have a whole training on it and you can grab it there.
That's brilliant. And I've seen that magic script. It's really good stuff. So you definitely need to go get that if you're thinking about getting started with paint parties. All right. Thanks, Heidi. It was good getting to chat with you for a little bit.
I know. I can't wait to see you. Thanks, everybody, for joining us.
Bye, everyone.